It's always struck me as a bit confusing. How can the Vedas, this ancient scripture, hold both these, like, incredibly detailed fire rituals and then suddenly shift to these super abstract philosophical questions?
Yeah, that's a really common point of confusion. And I think it's because we tend to picture the Veda as, a single book on a shelf.
Right, like one volume.
Exactly. But the reality is it's not a book. It's more like, well, an entire architecture of knowledge built in four very distinct layers.
An architecture. I like that.
And the whole system, this whole architecture, it's really defined by a fundamental split. There are two halves, and they map out a clear journey.
Okay, let's start there then. This big split, what are those two halves called?
So in Sanskrit, they're called the Karmakat and the Janakat.
Karmakat. That sounds like action.
Precisely. It's the action portion. This part is all about the rituals, the duties, the ceremonies. It's focused on achieving success and well-being, here in the world.
Makes sense. And the other one, Janakat.
That's the knowledge portion. So this half shifts focus entirely. It's about deep introspection, philosophical wisdom, and ultimately the goal of moksha.
Moksha, spiritual liberation, right? Freedom from the cycle of rebirth.
That's the one. So you see the journey from worldly action to inner knowledge.
Yeah, okay, that framing helps a lot. It feels less random now, more like a structured path. So let's use that idea, maybe like a university education. Let's walk through this architecture layer by layer.
Perfect analogy. Let's start at the foundation.
Okay, layer one, what is it?
Layer one is the Samhitās. Samhita just means collection. This is the oldest part, the absolute bedrock.
The original stuff.
Right. It's the compilation of all the core mantras, the hymns, the prayers, usually in metrical verse. So in your university analogy, the Samhitās are like your freshman 101 texts.
The required reading, the source material, everyone has to know. Got it.
Exactly. So once you have those core texts, those hymns.
You need to know what to do with them.
Precisely. Which brings us to layer two, the Brāhmaṇas. Now, these are very different. They're prose texts, often quite long, and they're very procedural.
Procedural how?
They explain what the hymns mean in the context of ritual, and crucially, they give incredibly detailed step-by-step instructions for the priests performing the yajnas, the big sacrificial ceremonies.
Like a lab manual, following the university idea.
That's a great way to put it, a detailed lab manual. Because these rituals, these yajnas, were seen almost like a kind of cosmic technology.
A technology.
Yeah.
Meaning, if you did it exactly right.
The desired result, whether rain or prosperity or whatever, was considered practically guaranteed. So the Brahmaṇas standardized that technology. Getting it wrong was, well, not good. Precision was everything.
Okay, that makes sense why they'd be so rigid. So we have the hymns, then the manuals on how to use them in rituals. What's next? This feels very action-oriented so far.
And that's where layer three marks a really crucial pivot. These are the Āraṇyakas.
The forest texts, right?
Yeah.
Because they were studied out in the woods.
Exactly. Named for the hermits studying in seclusion. And here the focus shifts dramatically. We move away from just doing the external ritual.
Towards thinking about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Towards internal contemplation. Exploring the symbolic meaning, the allegorical significance behind the sacrifices. Why are we doing this? What does it represent?
So back to the university analogy. This is like the R&D lab. Or maybe graduate seminars analyzing theory behind the practical application.
That's a fantastic way to think about it. You're moving from procedure to theory, from action to meaning. And that deep internal reflection leads directly, very naturally, into the final layer.
Layer 4. And this is where it gets really philosophical, right? The Upaniṣads.
The Upaniṣads, also known as Vedanta.
Vedanta meaning the end or the culmination of the Veda.
That's right. This is the concluding portion.
Right.
And it consists of these profound metaphysical dialogues. We're talking pure, abstract inquiry here.
Exploring things like
Exploring Brahman, the ultimate, unchanging reality beneath everything, and Atman, the true individual self, and crucially, the relationship between them.
So if the Veda is a university course,
The Upaniṣads are the final PhD thesis. It synthesizes everything that came before the hymns, the rituals, the symbolism, into this ultimate philosophical understanding of reality and the self.
wow. Okay, so when you lay it out like that, Samhitās, Brāhmaṇas, Āraṇyakas, Upaniṣads, it's a clear progression from sound to action to meaning to pure understanding.
Exactly. It's a coherent structure. And what's fascinating is if you connect this architecture to the bigger picture, its relevance, its imprint, is still totally visible today.
How so? Where do we see this structure playing out now?
Well, think about it, that karmakata element, the action part. You see it reflected in traditional family rituals, daily pujas, small offerings for well-being, community ceremonies. It's still very much alive.
Right, the more outward-facing practices.
Yeah, and then the janakacha, the knowledge part, you see that reflected in the modern interest in, say, meditation, self-inquiry, seeking wisdom from spiritual teachers, even watching Vedanta lectures online.
Huh. People seeking that deeper understanding, that moksha.
It's the same impulse. So this ancient structure provides a kind of roadmap for human consciousness, covering both engagement with the world and the quest for inner truth. What does this all mean for you, the listener?
Well, it means understanding the Veda isn't about tackling one confusing book. It's about seeing this incredible journey laid out, starting with the Samhitās, the hymns, learning the practice in the Brāhmaṇas, the manuals, then exploring the deeper meaning in the Āraṇyakas, the symbolism, and finally reaching philosophical heights with the Upaniṣads.
Beautifully summarized. And maybe the final thought to leave you with is this. The architecture of the Veda isn't just historical, it's presented as a complete system. One designed to guide a person from, let's say, effectively engaging with the world through focused action, all the way to understanding the fundamental nature of the self that is doing the engaging. It's quite a journey to contemplate.